Welcome to another live edition of the Real Estate Show, South Florida's #1 program about real estate, America's longest running program about real estate. And today here we start off yet another week, the second Monday here in January, where we're kicking off the year 2021 with a bang. And we got a great lineup for the shows this week. As always, I want to let you know a little bit about where you can reach us here at the Real Estate Show. We are live not only here on AM 1470 on the AM dial, also on the FM dial at 96.9 FM and also at 95.3 FM and probably a couple other ones that I'm not going to mention right now. You can also catch us live on our website. When all else fails, you can go to automaticlandlord.com. That's automaticlandlord.com. And you can listen to us live each and every weekday afternoon from 5 till 5:30. That's our Live at 5 show. We're on again later on this evening at 8 p.m., all of those Eastern times. And so 5 and 8 p.m., 5 days a week, that's 10 shows a week, plus our workshops that we have coming up this week. And we got a lineup of those, which I'm going to give out in just a second as well. But I want to kick off the show, first of all, with our mission here, which is to educate and empower more of our listeners to be able to own a piece of the American dream, and that is to own a little bit of real estate. And today, what our theme this week is going to be, we're going to talk about, did you know that every year, and this year won't be an exception, in fact, who knows, it might even be more, over 1 million new businesses have started each year over the last 5 years. And 80% of those businesses fail within the first 5 years. And there's a number of reasons. Number one, of course, is that they're just not profitable. They don't cash flow. They're not profitable. And unfortunately, many of them are not capitalized. And many businesses require large capitalization. We're going to talk about today that real estate is a vehicle towards your retirement. In fact, I'm going to tell you why real estate is the best vehicle towards your retirement. And the neat thing about it is, you've heard me say, there's 3 ways to approach it. You know, there is the done with you, where we talk about how we can help and partner with you on real estate deals to make sure that you do everything right. There's the done for you option, and there's always the do it yourself. For those of you more adventurous folks out there that like to go out there and do things yourself. Now, remember, last week, the quote of the day was, a single conversation across a table with a wise man is better than 10 years of studying a book. And that really goes to show you that if you had somebody, a coach, a mentor, someone who's been there, done it, made it back alive, in fact, not only alive, but who did thrive in real estate, well, then there's a lot to be learned by following in those footsteps. And so what I want to talk about this week, and we're going to talk about this throughout the week, there are a number of different components that are important in selecting a business. And let's make believe that you were getting ready to start your own business. There's a number of things, questions, let's call them, that you ought to be asking first. And if you don't ask those questions first, you may be going into the forest a little blindly, to say it lightly. And so we're going to break a lot of those things down, and then we're going to break them down each day of the week. So first of all, the first thing you want to have is a plan, right? You need to start out. Now, it's amazing that more people will spend more time planning a 2-week vacation, down to the nitty-gritty hotel days, the car rentals, the cost. They'll break down their budget down to the dollar. They'll figure out their schedule down to the hour, and they'll spend 4 weeks planning a 2-week vacation. Maybe they'll even plan more. And yet, for a business that could potentially retire you, that should last you decades, many people go in there by the seat of their pants without a plan, not even so much as a written business plan, whether it be a 1-page or a 40-page business plan. And so we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about that in the context of real estate this week. The second thing that you ought to have is the people, right? You got to analyze, build a team, know who your resources are in terms of people, know who are on your team, whether you're going to need employees or whether you're like me that do as little with employees as possible. Then there is the product. What is the product that that you want to go into business with? Is it a restaurant because you've got mama's secret recipe? Or is it because you know how to make a widget better than anybody else? Or, as I'll lay out the grounds for, would it be real estate? And I'm going to tell you why real estate is, in fact, the best business that there is. Remember that as in terms of a product, you want to have a product that's not going to go in and out with the up and down of the economy. That's not going to be in and out like a fad. And when you start talking about the three basic needs, literally the base from Maslow's hierarchy of needs: food, shelter, transportation. Real estate is shelter. It never goes out of style. It never is not needed. One thing we can always say that there's two things that we really need. In fact, I was thinking about that: food, shelter, and transportation. And now with Zoom meetings and everything being done in the virtual world, that many of us are operating from our home office, gym, library, college, classroom. Everything is under one roof, but it still is a roof. And so no matter how bad things could get, ultimately, you're going to need a roof over your head. The transportation might even be a question mark, whether you need to have transportation or not. But food and shelter will never, ever, ever go out of style or become a fad. So we'll talk about products a little bit more later on this week. And then finally, and this is probably the one that is the difference between surviving and thriving, and that is a system. Systems are just the most important thing. And the businesses with the best systems, and you may love them, you may hate them, but McDonald's, they've got their system down to a wire, which is why they serve billions and billions of hamburgers. And you can think of all the other businesses, the ones that do very well, the Walmarts, the Starbucks. All of these companies have predefined, very specific systems, and that's what you want to have in your business, whatever it may be. And we'll talk about that. And then we'll share with you a bit about the automatic landlord system and how that really comes into play in a big way. Anyway, so in addition to our 5 shows this week that we're going to be talking about, Mondays on our mission, which is today, our agenda, where we kind of lay out what's going on. We got our Tuesday edition, which is our tools, tips, and techniques, where we dive deep into what it is to do. It's great to have the concepts on Monday, but Tuesday we get into the concepts, and you're going to like Tuesday's show. Wednesdays is our midweek report, where we take what our theme is, and then we start looking at, you can't do this in a vacuum. There's a real world out there, and how does this fit in with what's going on? So we take a look at the marketplace, what's going on with the stimulus, what's going on with the economy, what's going on with the moratorium, evictions, foreclosures, and all of those things are still framing the context of whatever we do. But like I said, this year we're going to make our own economy. Yes, we have to operate within the constraints of the overall economy, but we're going to make our own economy by having the right plan, the right people, the right products, and the right systems in place that operate right through all of the noise. And you can imagine, as you look back over 2020, there was a lot of noise, and yet a lot didn't happen also. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to talk about, we've got some great workshops coming up, and I'm going to give you the phone number right now for you to write down. It's 561-861-2366. That's 561-861-2366. If you have any questions, you have any comments, you want to text to us, that is our dedicated text line. And I'm going to give you out a couple of codes for our workshops that we've got coming up this week. So stay tuned. You're listening to The Real Estate Show. This is Mondays on a Mission. My name is Eric Willner, and I will be right back. So we seem to be having problems today with our Facebook. Let's see here, ending live video there for Facebook. Let's go ahead and take a look. Maybe we'll reinitialize it. Done live. Let's describe. Let's try that again. There we go. Go live. Go live at 5. Come on, folks. There we go. There we go. See how we do a little better there. So the Real Estate Show Live is live now. So how's everybody's weekend? As we now go towards the first, we're approaching by Friday, we'll hit the 15th, the first half of the first month. Round 1 of 2021 is almost halfway over. So if you are sitting, getting ready to get started, you know, the famous polishing the bowling ball, getting ready to play, let me just tell you, it is time. It is time to get going. There is no progress. Progress is not possible without change. So if you're doing the same thing you were doing before, thinking that the outcome will be different, well, as they say, that's the ultimate definition of insanity. So the conversation we're going to have also the rest of this week is talking a little bit about taking the friction out of this business, because every business obviously has its challenges, always inevitably will have its bumps in the road. But how do we take the friction out of this business to make real estate as risk-free as possible? Now, there's no such thing as no risk, but you can certainly follow what we have often termed as the simple and safe approach to income producing real estate, which is what we're going to be talking about this week and in the weeks to come. And I want to show more people. Not only are we endeavored to make 100 new first-time home buyers, homeowners this year, but I would love to help a number of you investors to become successful, financially free investors this year. And this is the year to do it. And if this year isn't the incentive enough, then nothing else will be. So anyway, I'm going to finish out some of these commercials. We'll be right back there. So don't go away.
Bifurcated, lawful. Did the trust ever really receive the note and mortgage? Or has the lender in your case already been paid? Double dipping. Be there at Eric Willner's The Real Estate Show, 8 p.m. on Ask the Foreclosure Man Tuesdays. Learn how your worst case.
So we had a great Real Estate 101, by the way, this Sunday night. I know that there was a couple of issues. Hey, Brian, how are you? I just saw your message there on our YouTube channel, and get ready. I'll give you the notice, but we're going to be rolling this to the Real Estate Show's very own YouTube channel. We're getting ready to come back now. And welcome back. For those of you just joining us, you are listening to The Real Estate Show, South Florida's #1 program about real estate, America's longest running daily radio show about real estate. And we are here with our mission to help and empower more of our listeners to be able to have a piece of the American dream. Whether you're a first-time homeowner, first-time home buyer, as we've been talking about the different programs that we have laid out and prepared to introduce here on the Real Estate Show. And we're going to be rolling that stuff out. We've got information, we got the reports. If you want to learn more about our first-time home buyer program, if you want to learn more about the down payment assistance programs, remember, I said it doesn't matter to me whether you have money for a down payment or don't have money for a down payment. If you qualify to rent an apartment, then you qualify to own an apartment or a home. And if you want to get that information, if you want some help, then text the word DPA to 561. This is the number I gave out right before the break. 561-861-2366. Once again, that's 561 861-2366. Type the word DPA as in down payment assistance. Now, every Monday night, in addition to our 5 shows at 5 and our 5 shows at 8 p.m., Monday through Friday, we have our Monday workshop, which is our equity accelerator. And I'm not going to give out the code for that one for this Monday because that one is now full for this week. So, but in the event that you want to sign up for next week, a week from today, then the keyword there is equity. Type in equity, 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 to 561-861-2366. Now, on Tuesdays, and as a follow-up to that process of helping that first-time home buyer, helping that first-time homeowner, or whether you're an investor looking to acquire more property, credit is your number one most important number in your financial life. And if you're looking to accelerate your credit, be able to get more credit, then type in the word credit, 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 to 561-861-2366. That's the dedicated text line for the real estate show. Now, on Sundays, remember we have our Real Estate 101 class, and those of you, and we're going to be directing this more towards, we've been getting some contact from agents out there. And yes, we work with agents all the time. And so if you're interested in learning more about how we use this program, the down payment assistance programs, the early financing systems that we have, and the empower agents, then type in the word 101, or not the word, the numbers 101 to 561-861-2366. So back to our agenda here, and we have talked about this week, we're going to talk about real estate as a business and how this real estate is a vehicle towards your retirement. In fact, in my opinion, the best vehicle for your retirement. And we talked about how we're going to break it down during the week into, we're going to have a conversation about the plan. What is the plan? What would be a plan? And in this case, what I'm talking about is a 5-year plan. Now, if you want an overnight rags to riches, well, you're just going to have to take the 5-year plan and work it really hard, because you can shrink that time. Absolutely. I know many examples of folks who've done it in 2 years, and many, even some who have done it in 1 year. One really good real estate deal could change everything. Now, I'm not about swinging for the fence here. I want to show you how to get simple, easy to execute base hits, house after house, easy to acquire, easy to manage and operate. And so that's what the whole automatic landlord process and the automatic landlord system is all about. And then we talk about people, creating the team that you need to surround yourself, whether it be in-house employees, outsourced contractors, or other folks that you're going to be working with, from lawyers and title companies to agents. As I mentioned, we're all about working with good quality agents out there. We're all about training brand new agents how to do this the right way the first time. And finally, you're going to have appraisers, inspectors, and all sorts of contractors, handyman, and things like that. And so the people is going to be an essential part. We're going to talk more about that on our Tuesday Tools, Tips, and Techniques show. Then, as I mentioned, we're going to really break down the product, why this product is better than any other product out there. And then Thursday is our About the Money edition of the real estate show. And like I said, you cannot have a long or comprehensive conversation about real estate without talking about financing, whether it be private financing from a family member, a friend, a cousin, an uncle, an angel investor, whether it be alternative commercial financing or conventional financing or government financing like FHA, VA, and some of those others. All of those are part of the quiver. And we're going to talk about some of that on why this really is a great area to have, and how this process of financing with this product, real estate, is an unbeatable match as a vehicle for your retirement. And then finally, we'll come back to the conversation of the system, and some of the technology that we use in order to find the properties, manage the properties, finance the properties. All of that is part of a well-oiled machine and a system. So when you start to go and look at different businesses, there's a couple of different questions that you want to always be asking. Number one, can I leverage myself? In other words, can I make one effort and get multiple results? Again, this is why real estate, I make a large effort to go find a property that has a positive cash flow. I buy it, and I do that effort. And do I get paid one time? No, that's the beautiful part. One effort, one significant effort, it could be a lifetime of rental income going forward. And by the way, later on this week during our midweek report, we're going to talk about some of the new developments going on with the moratoriums and the possible extensions and the possible benefits for landlords, because you can bet we're researching that and making sure that we have all of the tools in line for all of our landlord investors that work with us. Then we want to know, is this business that we're interested in buying, whether it be real estate or any other, is it scalable? Can I have the benefits of economies of scale? Can I do one thing that benefits multiple sequences? Kind of like the first question, one effort, multiple results. I can create literally a residual, ongoing, perpetual income using real estate. The other businesses that you talk about, if I'm selling t-shirts, I got to go out and make and sell another t-shirt every time. I don't get paid over and over on that t-shirt or on that widget or on that meal that I serve. And that's one of the beautiful things about real estate. And it is very scalable. I'm going to even tell you that it's easier to manage multiple properties than it is to manage one or two. You can get bogged down in the details. And just think about, if I have 100 properties under management, and I will always have a property coming up for rent, right? So I'm going to have systems in place. I'm going to have marketing year round and probably have a backlog of tenants waiting to come in to a desirable location, a desirable property. When I have just a few properties, then I have to kick up that marketing every single time that I have a new vacancy. So that leads us to the third question. Is the business that I'm looking at, is it automatable? And you know the answer when we talk about the automatic landlord. I can automate much of this business. I can automate everything from putting on the lockbox on the doors to the advertising. I can automate the collection of the rent. I can automate a lot of things. I can even automate showing the property, believe it or not, especially nowadays with all the Zoom virtual tours and things like that. And then another big question I'll ask, you should ask when you're looking at a business, is it replenishable? Remember how we talked about it's rent coming in month after month. I'm reselling the use of that shelter on a commodity that never goes out of style. It's definitely replenishable, and in fact, self-sustaining replenishing. So there's a couple of the questions. There's more. Is it location free? And the answer to that is yes. We will talk more about that later on in the week. And is it outsourceable? And we'll talk more about that also this week. Meanwhile, the music is coming in. That means I'm on my way out. We've laid out the groundwork. We've laid out the foundation. Remember, text the word equity to 561-861-2366 if you want to learn about our Equity Accelerator Workshop coming next Monday. Tomorrow night, we have the Credit Accelerator Workshop. Text credit to 561-861-2366. Text it now. Once again, that number, 561-861-2366. Well, that's it for today. This is Eric Willner signing off, reminding you to drive safe, wash those hands, and make it a great day. Bye-bye. Remember, change is not possible without progress is not possible without change. See you guys. Take care, Brian.